We want to solve here the equation 3 logarithms to the base 2 of x minus 1 plus logarithm to the base 2 of 3 is equal 5. Because the variable appears only within logarithm, this is a logarithmic equation. And because we have one term that does not contain a logarithm, this is a 5 on the right hand side, this equation is reducible to the form logarithm equals a number. The first step in solving any logarithmic equation is to look for restriction on the domain. So we have to make sure that all logarithms involved are well defined. The first logarithm has to be defined or will be defined when x minus 1 is greater than 0. The second logarithm is already well defined because it's simply a number. So the only restriction on the variable here is that x has to be greater than 1. Any solution of that equation will have to satisfy that inequality. Step 2 is to write our equation in the desired form, logarithm equals a number. And for this, we'll have to combine the logarithms on the left into one logarithm. We can do it using properties of logarithm, and we'll use here first the power rule to bring the 3 in front of the first logarithm within logarithm, and then we'll use product rule to combine the two logarithms that will be in that left-hand side. So power rule is applied here, and now the product rule gives me x minus 1 cube times 3. Logarithm of that is equal 5. I have written my equation in the form logarithm equals 5, a number. So the step 3 is to turn this equation into the exponential form. And therefore we'll have 2 to the power 5 is equal 3 times x minus 1 to the third power, which gives me 32 is equal 3 times x minus 1 to the third. Isolating the x minus 1 to the third will give me x minus 1 to the third equals 32 over 3. To solve this equation, we can simply take the cube root of both sides. So we'll take cube root of x minus 1 to the third, and we'll take the cube root of 32 over 3, and the left-hand side becomes simply x minus 1 because the cube root is defined for all real values. So x minus 1 is equal cube root of 32 over 3. And that gives me x equals 1 plus cube root of 32 over 3. So this is the solution of algebraic equation 2 to the power 5 is 3 times x minus 1 to the third. To determine whether this is the solution of my equation, I have to check whether this solution, whether this number satisfy my restrictions. And since 1 plus something positive is going to be greater than 1, therefore the solution is x equals 1 plus cube root of 32 over 3.